Hey, I'm Zelda Plays. Welcome to the Asia Animal Pack. We've got all the new animals, new pieces, blueprints, campaign scenario, and the free update. Let's go. We'll start with the new campaign map. Dominic Myers is back again, this time in South Korea, trying to breathe new life into a long-forgotten zoo. And like last time, he's got a new pet. This time, it's a Japanese raccoon dog. He's called Nugget. And this is actually a really cute map. I know these maps tend to be fairly simple, although to be fair to Frontier, I think that is so that people who don't own supercomputers can actually run them at 60 FPS and just have fun with it, rather than staring at a slideshow like you sometimes are in more complex zoos. It's got a really nice shape to it, and it looks like a fun scenario to play. And we'll see some more of that when we take a look at all the new animals in the pack later on. Before we look at the animals though, we're going to check out all the new pieces, blueprints and facilities in the Asia Animal Pack and the new free update. Alright, here we go with the new pieces. The theme for the Asia Animal Pack is Festival. So that's like the third celebration theme in a row from Frontier. But I'm going to let them off this one because it is really good and it is really authentic. I've spent quite a bit of time in South and Southeast Asia, and this kind of stuff that you're seeing here, these are all the blueprints that the update comes with, is the kind of thing you will see there. So it does work. We've got all sorts of flower garlands, neon signs, which are going to be really cool, loads and loads of new lanterns and lights, and it's going to be really good for any Asian areas in your zoos. These are really nicely put together. You can see quite a few of the new pieces here, new tiny pieces here, very useful. Frontier's blueprints are often very over the top, but I'd quite happily have these in zoos that I was building, to be honest. Let's go and check the pieces out in more detail. Here we go. This is the first new set of pieces. These are all lamps. So kind of various different designs of flowers, leaves, bamboo, etc. All of which is illuminated. We're going to take a look at it all in darkness in a minute. And these are some new bamboo lamps as well. I really like these. Pretty much everything in this set, in fact, I think everything in this set, I've not seen anything that isn't, is FlexiColor. The multiple channels, so you can do whatever you like. I've already changed these a bit, made them darker. I think these are a really, really nice piece. This stuff is designed to be put together, so you can get all sorts of flowery lamps like this. Again, a little over the top for my tastes, but if you like that kind of thing, it could be very useful for your zoo. Next up is something really useful. All of these LED lights. There are so many lights in this pack. We've got curved lights in both a square and a round variant, all sorts of sizes. Look at these. These are actual lights, a square and a sphere, or a cube and a sphere, I should say. I can see a lot of use with those. And then we've got these LED panels, so you can make LED signs, which is something you see a lot of in South Asia, on shops and things like that. Really, really good for theming. And then we've got all of these panels as well, from absolutely massive panels all the way down to, I think, what will be the smallest panel in the game. 0.25 meters, so it's 25 by 25 centimeters. That's pretty amazing. And if we turn the lights out, you can see them glowing away, looking really nice. How gorgeous are those lanterns there? All of them FlexiColor with multiple channels on these ones here. So you can do some really cool stuff with this. Make it middle of the night. See what I mean? These are going to come in really handy. And there's those other lights all lit up. They actually look quite nice at night, to be fair. Alright, let's turn the lights back on and head over to here. This is where my favourite stuff in the pack resides, this kind of side of it. These are sort of faux banana leaves. I think we can use these as both real plants or fake plants, depending on your needs. These will definitely be going into Belmont Zoo, I think. And there's this sort of bronze version as well, which I really like. That's good for theming. And then this panel here, we've got a few of those in the game already with different designs on them, so this will fit in really nicely. A bit more of a tropical vibe. And then we got loads of these, they're apparently marigolds, but yeah, the kind of flower garlands, etc. that you see a lot of all over Asia. And these are, again, FlexiColor, so you can make them into any coloured flower that you like. We've got some actual, more sort of traditional looking flowers on this one here. Again, great for theming. Over here, we've got the signs. We finally have a good elephant sign in the same style as most of the rest of them. And as usual, these are really nicely done, really nice art. And then here we've got some more Asian theming. Let's just get some better lighting on here. These are great, I really like these. You've got these 3 of these panels here, each with a little hook up on the bottom. As you can see here, lovely detail. You can put this little bell on. And we've got 3 different bells in 2 different sizes. And I'm already trying to think what I'm going to use these for other than stuff like this, which is great for Asian theming, but it's just always good to have new small metal pieces in the game. There's another one as well, this LED tube bracket. So this goes with all of this stuff over here, but again, it's just another really small metal piece that will be very useful for building with. And there's these down here, these little flower prayer offerings. Saw these all over the place in Bali when I went there. There's a little plate for them as well. You see these just left at the side of the road and in front of people's houses. So that's going to be amazing for theming Asian areas. And then over here, we've got all of these wood panels. Again, totally Flexicolor. We go and check this one out. You can get the whole thing into a sort of a natural wood, if you like, which is something I can see myself using very often in Asian areas. In fact, you'll probably see this very shortly on the channel. There we go. They're really nice pieces, loads of different designs, and again, brilliant for theming Asian areas. I think this little corner here is just full of really useful stuff that I'm definitely going to be using. The reward statue is the honey badger, very cute. And then we've got these light boxes, which are absolutely enormous. Don't know what I would use these for. Don't recall seeing anything like this IRL, but maybe you can let me know in the comments what these are supposed to be. I mean, they're definitely light boxes, they light up, but yeah, they just seem kind of a bit big to be manageable for me. But if you've seen things like this IRL in Asia, let me know. And that's it. That is all the pieces in the pack. So again, like the last few packs, we've got a mixture of very heavily themed stuff, which isn't really my bag. And then we've got some really useful stuff that will definitely be going into my zoos. And I think we're going to see a lot of use out of all of these LED panels and things like that. In fact, we might even see some of that on this channel fairly soon. But as always, it's not just the normal pieces, we have the new facility pieces as well. So we'll go over there and check these out. So by default, I'm going to say I do not like these. We've got a crazy bin, we've got a crazy set of benches, we've got a crazy picnic table with lampshade. Very, very heavily themed. Not something I'm going to make much use of, but they are Flexicolor. So if we check these out over here, you can certainly tone the colors down and make them a bit more like something you might see more often, but not the best selection of facilities in my opinion. Hidden away over there, we have the contents of the free update, and I will show you that once we've had a look at the animals in the new pack. First up is the Tanuki, or Japanese Raccoon Dog. These guys are so cute, although I think I still owe one about £1 million from lockdown. Not particularly common in zoos, or certainly not in Europe anyway. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Japanese raccoon dog. I think I've seen the other species of raccoon dog maybe once in a little zoo in England. But very cute, and it is amazing to finally have another Japanese animal in the game. Now we've got 3 of the most classic Japanese animals, the Japanese macaque, red crown crane, and the raccoon dog. We finally have the option to build a proper Japanese area in our zoos if we want to, so that's awesome. Here's the female, very similar to the male, but somehow even cuter. I think this slightly brownier tone is the more common one for Japanese raccoon dogs, although I am not a raccoon dog expert. Yeah, I think this is a great animal, and the fur simulation, as always these days with Frontier, is really good. Speaking of fur simulation, check out the fur on these Nilgai, on the sort of nape of their neck and dangling down. That is really, really cool. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I was not really familiar with Nilgai until this pack was announced, but they're a pretty unique looking ungulate. Very impressive, massive, big difference between the males and the females as well. And Asian hoofstock has been really lacking in this game since day one, so very good to get some more animals in that kind of category into the game so we can start getting some more diversity into Asian areas. If you're as unfamiliar with the Nilgai as I was, they are the largest antelope in Asia, and they live across India, Nepal and Pakistan, mainly in the north of the Indian subcontinent. They can occasionally be found in Bangladesh as well. I think these guys are pretty handsome. The next animal though is one that I was really looking forward to. It's new primate time, always a good time for me, and the lion-tailed macaque is a great choice. They are really unique looking with that big mane and the little lion-style tail that they have as well. They're really impressive animals, and the females are just as impressive as the males. There's very little difference between them. These live exclusively in India and are, I believe, our first Indian primate. Again, it's a really good quality model. The quality is always really high in the DLCs for the past few years. New gameplay features may be lacking. The animals, if anything, keep getting better. Next up, the Blackbuck. This animal is absolutely beautiful. Definitely the most requested Indian ungulate pretty much since the game came out, and you can see why. If you want an incredible looking ungulate for your zoo, then I think the Blackbuck definitely will fit the bill. These spiral horns on the male, they're pretty magnificent, and the females are really cute as well. Our male here is going to run over and find one now, and there she is. These are immediately amongst my favourite hoof stock in the game. You can see why they were so in demand. The Blackbuck is an antelope native to India and Nepal. It's sometimes known as the Indian antelope, which just shows you how sort of iconic they are for the Indian continent. I like a little moustache as well. There's actually two subspecies of Blackbuck. This one is just called the Blackbuck in game. I'm always a little confused by Frontier's attitude to species and subspecies. Sometimes they go with the species level, sometimes the subspecies level, but when they look as good as this, I don't really care. Next up is one of the zoo world's great conservation success stories, Pere David's deer. This is another really good model from Frontier. The detail on the antlers in particular is really good. The little sort of sub-antlers spiking off from them. And the Pere David's deer is pretty unique looking as well, and they've got this really long snout. You can see it well on the female here. These were extinct in the wild, but there was a population of them at Woburn Abbey Safari Park back in the, I think it was the 1930s. So they started a breeding program and eventually reintroduced them to their native China, and zoos all over the world have been breeding and reintroducing them ever since. Alright, let's leave our little deer and antelope park here and go and check out the star of the pack, the honey badger. This is another highly requested animal in this pack, and when he comes bopping into view, you can see why. They're so charismatic. I should say she, actually. This is the female. Males and females are very similar. The males are just a bit larger. Probably just the colouring, but they always make me think of a skunk with attitude. Although skunks are pretty famous for their attitude anyway. But rather than spraying you, the honey badger will just tear you to pieces. Would be great to have these bouncing around in a zoo, but just look at this little face. They're really active. It's pretty much a perfect model. This one looks amazing. Very pleased with it. Finally, though, we have the wild card in the pack, the Bornean Elephant. I'll say this straight away, they look really good. The texture on them, all the sort of depth mapping, etc. to get the texture into their skin looks really good. These look absolutely amazing. Just look at the detail on their ears there. They are definitely a better model than the Indian elephants that we already have in the game. Whether we needed to have them or not, I guess, is up to you. Me personally, I would rather have had something else in this pack, just because, although I've seen people criticize it, for me, the Indian elephant, it's a pretty good model. I was surprised how well they held up when we added them into Belmont Zoo, like 6 months ago? Having not seen them pretty much since I bought the game, I thought they looked pretty good. I don't think they desperately needed to have another elephant in the game to increase the quality. Although they're sometimes known as the Bornean pygmy elephants, they're not really much smaller than your average elephant. They are either a subspecies of the Asian elephant or just a different population of the Sumatran subspecies of Asian elephant, depending on which scientific resource you consult. The Indian elephant that we already have in the game is the largest, and the Bornean is the smallest. There's not actually that much of a difference between them. I went the extra mile for this bit though and waited quite a while to get a little baby so you could take a look at the elephant baby. He is as cute as you would expect, absolutely adorable. Alright, that is all the animals in the new pack. Let's check out what comes in the free update. Alright, the free update contains 3 new things, which is cool. Firstly, we've got these Chinese lantern plants. So there's just one of these, I've just put 3 of them down so you can see them a bit better. So they come in 2 variants. So this is the unflowered variant. Really nice little kind of shrub looking thing there. We'll definitely be using that. And then over here we have them with the flowers on them and give them their name. And that's a really, really pretty plant. We'll definitely be using those. So nice to get some new plants in the game. And then in here we have the new butterflies, the Malabar Rose. Here's one here. They are really gorgeous. Oh, he's gone. Let's get a better shot of one. There you go. Beautiful butterfly. Great to have another tropical option to go with the blue morpho. And there we go, that's everything in the 3 update. Much better than just the daffodil that we got last time. And that is the Asia Animal Pack. Thank you so much for watching as always. I will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Belmont Zoo containing 3 of the new animals. See you then. Bye.